there's a few questions that I gotta ask. And at this point, it has become very hard for me to even keep these video TikTok legal. I can't describe to you how loud I want to yell into this camera phone right now. Like, I want to literally yell into this phone so loud that I would probably cover my screen in blood. Like, my tonsils would be flowing down my goddamn cell phone screen. It's a miracle right now that I'm able to even maintain the tone that I'm talking to you in. Okay? But under what circumstance does a police officer get killed and that the person that killed him is released a year later after somebody decides, hey, let's dig into some cases and see if we can somehow send a message? Now, I finished looking at a video about 15 minutes ago. All right. And the video, it talked about there was some dudes in Chicago who was doing street interviews with Fox. And they was talking about how you got Latino gangs standing outside of black housing projects, you know, with heavily armed AKs. They got M16s. They got all. And if you go back about a month and a half ago, I talked about the same thing as it relates to terrorists in North Africa. One of the big points I make is that those terrorists don't have modern countries. Where do you get these big artillery pieces? Where do you get these MRAPs? These are tracked vehicles with engines in them. Y'all ain't got no manufacturing base. You're getting that from the West, the collective industrial West. I almost slipped and said, and I named the nation. Okay, so you got to be careful. And it's the same thing here. You got gangsters outside of black residential areas from another country with weapons, and a judge decides, for good measure, right, within the 14-day time period that a black man in Missouri, which is right next to Illinois. Missouri is right next to Illinois. East St. Louis is Illinois. East St. Louis is not in Missouri. East St. Louis is in Illinois. So in the same 2-week time period in which a black man is found, now listen closely to me, right? Listen very closely to what I say, because this is what you call, white people always talking about book written IQ. This is intellectual IQ. They call it intuitiveness. What subliminal message is really sent when, and listen closely, a man is found innocent by DNA evidence and is executed regardless of his innocence? And that also happened earlier with Jonathan Majors. In the world of acting, he was assaulted on camera. He was chased on camera by a Caucasian female, but his career was destroyed, and he was convicted of assaulting a woman that he was running from. A black man was just executed for a crime that he was found innocent of, and a Latino dude who shoots and murders a black, not just gangster, not just random black dude, but a black upholder of the law, is released in the same city that Latinos are standing outside of black apartment complexes with assault rifles in a city with a handgun ban. Look, I'm going to tell you something. As a black person, niggas that are sitting around listening to this puffy stuff, you niggas are goofy. There's little, if any, reason that you shouldn't be forming some of the most heavily armed militias. This is the type of stuff in which, I'm going to be honest, a nation state is only at best about 10 to 15 years to getting other people to just carry out what Adolf Hitler did to the Jews in Germany. They are just going to get rid of the blacks. things. And most of them are probably too stupid to even care or even realize that they're being collectively gathered, placed within an area. And if they're not directly and specifically killed by gunfire, it'll just be starvation or either just downright depravity over time. They'll probably relegate all black people to a certain area and tell them there's a disease and you need to take a shot. And it'll be just like they did in Kenya, where they gave 4 million women this shot that eliminated their ability to reproduce, you know. And the Kenyan government helped them do it because even though it's a black nation, they're a minority group, even within a black country. So it's like we don't care about them. And I predict that that's what the U.S. political system has lined up for the black population. We are probably somewhere within the range of 5 to 15 years of it happening. And they've already equipped the military age foreign men to do it. And as you can see, your black political establishment doesn't have a word. Total silence.